All right, today we're going to talk about something really important. It's this huge shift in how we understand disability, moving past old, outdated ideas and into something way more powerful called inclusiveness. So, to get a sense of just how big this is, get this. The World Health Organization says 15% of everyone on the planet, that's a billion people, live with a disability. A billion. That makes them the world's largest minority. It's a huge number. But that brings up a really big question, right? Is a physical or mental impairment what actually disables someone, or is there something else going on here? Let's just keep that question in the back of our minds as we go through this. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. We'll look at the numbers, then totally redefine what disability even means. We'll explore the huge range of experiences, talk about moving from barriers to bridges, and wrap up with why this matters to literally everyone. So let's just get right to it. When you're talking about a group this large being excluded, you're not just talking about a social problem anymore. This is a matter of basic human rights. Full stop. And this quote, this really hits the nail on the head. It says, the real issues, things like poverty and insecurity, they don't come from the impairment. Nope, they come from being excluded. It's the way society is set up that's causing the problem.
Okay, so that leads us to the main event, the big idea here. We're about to completely flip the script on how we define disability. It's a total paradigm shift.
So, first things first, let's get our terms straight. An impairment is the medical condition, right? It's a physiological or anatomical function, like eyes that don't see clearly. And this is super important. An impairment is not the same thing as a disability. And this is where it gets really interesting. We have two totally different ways to look at this. The old way, the medical model, basically says the person is the problem. They need to be fixed to fit in. But the social model, it turns that completely on its head. It says, no, the person is valued. The barriers in society are the problem. It's society that has to change, not the person. So here's the big takeaway. Disability isn't a thing a person has. It's what happens when a society is built for only one type of person. It's the mismatch between a person's abilities and an environment that doesn't account for them. Society is what's doing the disabling. Okay, and it's also really important to remember that disability isn't just one thing. It's not a neat little box. It's a huge, complex spectrum of human experiences. For example, you've got visual impairments, which can be anything from low vision, maybe affecting your central or peripheral sight, all the way to total blindness. Then there's hearing impairment. Again, it's a whole continuum, from being hard of hearing to being culturally and profoundly deaf. And what about specific learning disabilities? These are often called hidden disabilities. Think of things like dyslexia, which are neurological and have absolutely nothing to do with how smart someone is. Neurodevelopmental conditions like autism are also part of this spectrum, affecting how people communicate and interact with the world in very unique ways. And of course, there are physical and health impairments, things that affect mobility, like cerebral palsy, or ongoing conditions like asthma or diabetes that require constant management. All right, so if society is the one creating these barriers, then it's on us, on society, to tear them down. So now we're going to shift gears from just talking about the problems to actually building the solutions. How do we build those bridges to a truly inclusive world? So what are these barriers we keep talking about? Well, the social model breaks them down into three big types. You've got attitudinal barriers. That's just stigma and prejudice. Then, the obvious ones, physical barriers, like a building that only has stairs and no ramp. And finally, you have policy barriers. These are the rules and systems that just weren't designed with everyone in mind. So, how do we fix it? Well, here's a pretty clear 5-step plan. First, you have to actually understand what people need. Then, you adapt the world around us, fix the buildings, change the services. We can use assistive technology to bridge gaps. We have to stand up and advocate for everyone's rights. And maybe most importantly, you have to do it with the community, not just for them. Collaborate. Okay, so why should we do all this? Is it just about being nice? Well, no. As we're about to see, creating an inclusive society isn't just the right thing to do, it's actually the smartest thing to do. There are real benefits for everybody. Think about it. When we get rid of these barriers, people can be independent. That directly fights poverty. It unlocks the potential of a massive part of our population, letting them contribute to the economy and our communities. A society that includes everyone is just better.
It's more stable, more prosperous, more peaceful. It's a total win-win.
So I want to leave you with this one question, because this whole idea of inclusiveness, it's not some abstract concept for other people to worry about. It starts with you, it starts with me, in our own lives, at our jobs, in our neighborhoods. So just take a look around your own world. What's the first barrier you can help take down?